My name is Beth DeBauche. I'm the Commissioner of the Ohio Valley Conference. I've had the privilege of serving in this role for the past 2 years, and excited to start my third football season with the league. I've worked in intercollegiate athletics for approximately 17 years, and I've really had a blessed career path. I originally started working as an attorney, and while I was working as an attorney, there was a gentleman in town who worked in intercollegiate athletics, and he really encouraged me to look at taking a different career path, and I'm so grateful that he did. Based on that advice, I was fortunate enough to be hired at Vanderbilt University, where I worked for about 2.5 years as an assistant athletics director focused in the area of compliance. From Vanderbilt University, I moved to the Southeastern Conference, and I worked for Commissioner Roy Kramer for approximately 8 years. In that role, I worked in compliance. I also oversaw the National Letter of Intent on behalf of the Collegiate Commissioners Association for about 3 years. Also served in a sports administrative capacity. From the Southeastern Conference, I then moved on to the National Collegiate Athletic Association, where I worked for 7 years, and I served as the Director of Division I. And in that role, I worked with the president and the athletics administrators in helping to set policy on behalf of the division. In my career, I've been very fortunate to have some wonderful mentors and work for some real leaders in intercollegiate athletics. While at the national office, I worked under the leadership of Miles Brand, and my direct supervisor was David Burst. I also had an opportunity to work for Roy Kramer, who was a true visionary in intercollegiate athletics. So I've been blessed to be able to learn from the best in the field, folks that had a real vision for intercollegiate athletics, and people that were committed to serving student athletes. And that focus, I think, has truly helped me. I'm a hard worker, but really have a passion for what I do, and I think that passion and the commitment to student athletes helps get through some of the long days, but really makes me feel committed to what we're trying to do at the OVC and in Division I as a whole. Gosh, the OVC is a storied athletics conference, and football has long been a part of the fabric of the OVC. We've had a good level of football success, but certainly we'd like to have more. We recently worked through a strategic plan, and ultimately, like all conferences, we would like to win a national championship in football, and we think that's a realistic goal on behalf of our league. We would love to have more than one team represent us in the playoffs, and certainly we've had that opportunity in the past, and we would like for that to continue. We'd also like for the nation to know more about our brand of football. We think we have a good brand of football. We just need more exposure so the nation can appreciate the good student athletes. And within the OVC, we have a really tight footprint. Our schools are located close to one another, but more importantly, and as we talk about the features of our institution, we have similar institutional missions. We have a strong history of giving back to the local community and training local leaders. So from an academic standpoint, we're really in a solid role, and we give a lot back to our community. From an athletic standpoint, I think we have a right balance of the true intercollegiate model where our student athletes are able to have success on the playing field, but also success in the classroom, and that we maintain that sense of balance that is very healthy and leads for an overall positive experience for our student athletes competing in the OVC. Our institutions get along very well together. We're a very collegial group, but we also have a good sense of rivalry and competition within the league that makes for an interesting race, be it football or our other sports that we sponsor. We spent some time over the course of the past summer working with our football coaches and our athletics administrators, just trying to identify ways to bring more attention to OVC football within our footprint and more broadly across the nation. We're talking right now of in the future having a more comprehensive web streaming approach to provide more exposure to OVC football. That's a work in progress, but I think it's an exciting development that's coming down the pike. And then I would like for us to see a more comprehensive or more pointed slogan on behalf of OVC football, that people know that if it's a Saturday or Thursday in this region of the country, it's time for OVC football. Sure. Well, and you said it yourself, a typical day for a commissioner is the fact that there's no such thing as a typical day. Every day looks so different. But it's fun because there are so many challenges that present themselves, but there really are opportunities. As a commissioner, I think what makes this job fun, but also gets you through some of the hard times, is you know that you're working on behalf of the student athletes. As the commissioner, I spend a good bit of time working with our presidents. The OVC is broadly presidential-led league, and so I interface with our board of presidents on a regular basis. But we have a collegial group of athletics directors that work well with their presidents and work well with the conference office. We have a staff of 9 employees, and as a staff, we have a good family relationship, and we have a good bit of interaction and a high level of dialogue that we spend a lot of time with one another talking about the vision and focus of the Ohio Valley Conference. I think my responsibility as commissioner of the OVC is to make sure that we have a clear vision on behalf of this league, that we stay focused on our student athletes, and that we have the discipline to make decisions that are consistent with our vision. I also have a responsibility to demonstrate leadership and a sense of passion for what we're doing on behalf of this league. As I said earlier, I've been involved with the OVC for 2 years, and gosh, I inherited a wonderful position in a good league. We have so many great accomplishments in our past, but there's so many things we want to do in our future. That not only are days not typical, but what I can tell you is that days are busy, very busy and very full. And that's the one thing that's constant, answering the needs and questions of our member institutions, because we really want to serve the OVC members the best that we can. My gosh, I don't know if it's special talents, but similar to others, I very much enjoy playing golf, and I think part of the passion that golfers have is the fact that you never quite perfect it, and it's an absolute challenge. I love to travel, and while this job gives me an opportunity professionally to travel, certainly in my spare time, additional travel is a pleasure to get away and enjoy seeing other sites and sounds and learning from other experiences. As I noted, I've been really fortunate to have worked for some true leaders in intercollegiate athletics. Roy Kramer, the former commissioner of the Southeastern Conference, was not only my boss, but he was my mentor for the 7+ years that I worked at the Southeastern Conference. What I learned from him is an ability to keep focused on the student athletes and on doing the right thing, not to get caught up in competitive issues, but really focused on doing the right thing for the overall student-athlete experience. And if you do that, you end up making the right decisions for the betterment of the enterprise overall. I also had a great mentor in David Burst, the current vice president of Division I, an absolutely ethical and solid-thinking individual who really taught me to be patient and to listen to others and to learn from others. And again, stay focused on your principles and stay focused on what you know is right. And it just makes those hard decisions that much easier. So really, my experience in intercollegiate athletics has been a daily lesson in learning from one another. And I hope that in my job, I try to take back from my interactions with the presidents, athletics directors, and from our own staff an ability to learn from their strengths and weaknesses, and to always ask questions and try to listen so that each day is a learning opportunity moving forward. The 4 years or 5 years that you'll spend in college are truly special and blessed years for any student athlete. Their participation in intercollegiate athletics is an opportunity and a laboratory in which to learn the most about yourself, the challenges of intercollegiate athletics, learning what you can accomplish, learning that there's so much you can have on your plate and being able to manage it well, learning the time skills and the sense of balance that you need to exceed in life. Also learning that there's a diversity of teammates from different backgrounds across the nation that we can all take something from, and that rich background makes us better for the experience. So I would hope that our student athletes can really embrace the opportunity to compete, to learn from their teammates, and to learn from the overall experience. I also hope that they would have a good sense of balance, and they learn that from our administrators and from our coaches that focuses on the whole student-athlete experience, that values success in the classroom and on the playing field, and that they are come away from this experience well-balanced so they can tackle the challenges ahead in their professional lives. I'd also hope that they know that the Ohio Valley Conference family, from our office to the member institutions, we really care for their overall student-athlete experience, and that we want for it to be an overall positive experience. Nothing will make us more proud than that our student-athletes feel that they've achieved what they can achieve on the playing field, but that they ultimately achieve in the classroom and graduate with a degree from an OVC institution. So it's an exciting time of year, I think, for all of us as we see the new students enroll and start their intercollegiate athletics careers, and we just have all the anticipation for them because we know they have an opportunity to accomplish so very much. And I'm just really blessed to be able to work in this role to contribute in some small way. Well, we have a unique experience in the OVC in that we have a traveling trophy amongst the 4 Tennessee schools, Tennessee Tech, Tennessee State, Austin Peay, and the University of Tennessee at Martin, called the Sergeant York Trophy. And the Tennessee schools compete for that trophy every year. It really brings a sense of interest in what's going on in the league and within the state. We've had this award now for 5 years, and it's brought just a key level of enthusiasm for the student athletes as well. They really get excited to compete for this trophy, and this trophy is just a beautiful depiction and tribute to Sergeant York, who is a native of Tennessee. I think my message is simple to OVC fans. We need you. We need your support. We are grateful for all the support that you've shown us in the past, but we expect another exciting and enjoyable football season, and we really ask for your participation on our Thursday evening games and our Saturday games to show support on behalf of our student athletes. They really appreciate the effort that you make to be there, and we know we have a great level of enthusiasm for our football, so I would encourage you to come out and be part of the fun. My name is Beth DeBauche, Commissioner of the OVC, and I thank you for tuning in and being part of this discussion.